Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Now Daisy is napping right next to me, but luckily she'll sleep through anything when she's really tired, so fingers crossed I can film this because I am going to do a what's in my changing bag video. I wanted to do one of these for ages, but I really need it now. Do you know what I mean? We've like had the summer holidays and there's been no there's no more sort of special trips at the moment because every day is sort of much the same and we're out and about and taking Bill to school and all of that, and we've come back from holiday, so there's no extras in here, and this is kind of like my day-to-day changing bag with everything that I'll need to sort of go out and about. So if anything sort of like impromptu happens, then I've got everything that we need. Now Bill is 4 and day to day he's at school Monday to Friday, and obviously if there are things that he needs I always pop them in here as well. There's still a little bit of extra room in here for like toys or a drink or a snack for him, but as it stands that's kind of like an add-in type thing. So all of this stuff really is for me and Daisy. So starting with the bag, this is the Tiba and Marl rucksack, and I have the floral print. I think it's the Elwood, this one, this style of bag anyway. I actually got this for my birthday when I was still pregnant back in January off Mark and Bill, because they are very, very expensive. I'm not even going to lie, they're incredibly expensive. But, you know, this is attractive enough that people that don't have kids have asked me like where it's from and stuff, and I think it's going to last me a good while and I really like it. It's got waterproof fabric, there's like sort of like fake leather detailing, nice gold hardware, lovely little straps with sort of like shiny PU, like, you know what I mean. They're really, really nice. There's a nice like logo here, and it's got feet on the bottom, and if you can hear it making a funny noise, I haven't got an animal in there, it's one of Daisy's toys. But yeah, let me show you what is inside. Now this is sort of freshly packed, so you're not going to find any receipts or anything like that, but this is my organised changing bag. I'm sure that will change over time. So the thing that is making this noise is this little guy, and I absolutely love these toys. I think they're brilliant. It's Lamaze, I think, or some people say Lamaze. I will have to try and work out what the pronunciation is. We literally have about 10 of these toys, no lie, and this is a little tiger that when you move it he purrs, and Daisy really likes him. She's infatuated with him. And if you're a parent, like you're pregnant or you're wondering what to get your baby, you need to check these toys out. We have so many of them, and they just they're perfect. Like, they're nice and bright and colourful. They all do little different things, and there's loads of little bits to play with on them. So he is coming with us, and I always try and take a toy out with us just because you never know what they're gonna be like and what mood they're gonna be in. And then let me take these out first. So the next three things are like three sort of book type thing. The first one is Daisy's health like record, her red book. I take this with us because obviously I have a child with, I suppose, additional needs at the moment, and should we ever be out and about and something happens to her, or we need to go to hospital, or you know, whatever, then I always like to have this on me. And I kept Bill's with me all the time as well in his changing bag. It was just like made sense to have it there, so we've got that. Then again, because Daisy does have, oh, she's stirring, because she does have additional needs and lots of appointments at the moment, I have my diary. This is a Kiki K one, like 2016. I really, really like this diary, and I'm always filling it in with like her appointments and stuff, and like to remember, because I have appointments already booked for October, this is one, and November, so I need to keep it on me really, because otherwise, you know, I forget. And if we are out and about and I get a phone call about another appointment, or I need to remember what we're doing and when, then this is really useful. I never used to be a diary kind of person. I've just got a really good memory. Shucks. But I need it now, and I've also got a pen with that as well. And the sun is going to be a bit of a pain in the arse for the next bit of this video until that cloud comes back, so I'm sorry about that. And the next thing I have is maybe a little bit presumptuous, but it's a book. Now, when you're out on the school run sometimes and like the moment takes you and you just really like, you're stressed and you're frazzled and you really need a break, like sometimes it's nice to just go for a coffee afterwards if she's fallen asleep with a buggy, and rather than sit and play on my phone, which I don't think is particularly good for me, especially when I do work like this, like I'm on my phone a lot as like part of a job really. So I like to take a book with me just so I can grab a few minutes, and this is, I read this on holiday at Centre Parks and it's a little bit wet, but I've still not finished it and I'm determined to try and finish this now. So that is with me for those spare moments that I might actually get to read a page or two. Oh, can you imagine if I read 5? Party. And then next up are all her changing bits. Now as part of the bag you get this little sort of wallet inside, which you can detach if you want to, which is really useful if you want to like go out and about with just a tiny thing. And in here I just have some nappy sacks and like some small samples of cream and stuff. Daisy actually doesn't ever really suffer with nappy rash, so we don't use them. She just doesn't need them. And as well as that we have some wipes. These are just the Mamia ones from Aldi because I was there the other day and we'd run out and they're cheap enough. I also like the Asda Little Angel ones as well. I tend not to buy anything else because I just think they're too expensive for wiping poo, in all honesty. But I do tend to just try and get whatever's cheapest and what's on offer with wipes. Water wipes are my favourite in the newborn stage, and if you are going to get them from Amazon or look out for any deals online because I think they're amazing for when they're tiny, and those will be what I use when we have another child as well. I've got some nappies. We have the Little Angels again, and these are the size 4. Now what I like about Little Angels, I went to an event with them a while back and they told us this, and it was kind of doing the rounds as well, like in terms of like the plus sizes are for extra wee rather than like going up a size. So if your baby wees a lot, then go up to the plus size. It's not actually any bigger in terms of size. But with the Little Angels nappies, you see this bit here, when your tabs start to not reach this bit anymore and they're starting to like, you're doing them up here, that's a sign that the nappy is too small for your baby and you need to move up to the next size, which I think is really, really useful. So Daisy is now in size 4s because we were having a few leaks with size 3 in terms of Punamis, which was fantastic. So we moved up to these and now we've not had any problems since. As well as that, we have this, which is the changing mat that comes as part of the bag, like this, and it's very pretty and it's padded and it does the job. I love a good changing mat in your bag. I think that's really useful. And then the rest of this main compartment, I have a bottle of water for me. That was actually in here, by the way. I didn't just add this to look like it was organised. Like, we actually did have water in there, which is useful, especially because I'm on Slimming World now, and if I'm thirsty it'll stop me drinking something that's a bit naughty for me instead. And then in here are a spare change of clothes, and this is actually a bag from the Essential One. Every time you order like sleep suit sets from the Essential One, they come in this like gorgeous little bag, and I've kept the bags and they're really useful for like packing your hospital bag, because you can separate baby's clothes and your bits into each of these. And then they're also useful for like out and about, because if she destroys any of her clothes with like food or poo or sick or whatever, then I can throw all the dirty stuff in here and then take it home and wash the whole lot, and then all the clean stuff is in here for now, just to stop it all getting messed around inside the bag. At the moment that consists of a sun hat, because as you can see the sun is blinding me right now. We've got a muslin. This is one of the Aiden and Anae ones, the Bambi like Disney collection. They're really lovely, dead soft, so we've got one of those as well. We have a spare sleep suit. This is gorgeous. It is a white sort of tie-dye sleep suit with yellow in, and it's really lovely. We have a rainbow one as well, which I absolutely love. I'll leave the seller down below because she is on Instagram, and I asked her to do me a custom yellow one and a custom rainbow one, and she did. And now I think you can buy them online, or buy them through her as well. So she's added those 2 colours to her range, which is really cool. And then also I have a romper. This is just a little one from Tesco, and then a white vest as well. So Daisy's sort of prepared for any eventuality then, because you never know what the weather's going to be like at the moment. Even in September, it's just up and down like a yo-yo. And then that is the main compartment empty, and then there are 2 pockets at the front. So I'll open this big one first, and then I'll do this tiny one at the front at the end. So this front pocket is kind of for things that I want to grab on the go or keep separate because they're like a bit messy or whatever. So there's like a bit of a mishmash, but it's just things that I can access really easily. So we have obviously started weaning Daisy now. So the first thing I have in here is a little disposable bib, a little plastic sort of, well, fabric papery one that sticks together, and I keep that in there just for when we're out and about. And then we also have a Ella's Kitchen pouch, which is carrots, carrots, carrots. Daisy loves carrots. I really recommend starting with them once you've done the whole baby rice thing. Carrots is a really good first weaning choice. And then we've got a little spoon as well, and this is just one of the Munchkin ones, a set of 7 I think. One word of advice with these: don't put them in the dishwasher because they pick up like the colour of like orange foods and stuff, and they're never quite the same. You can see on that one, so that's, don't do that. I might actually buy a new pack because the look of them, some of them make me feel sick because I like orangey brown. It's gross. And then we have her feeding stuff. Now this is probably one thing that's a little bit different than maybe most babies because Daisy is obviously tube fed. So let me make sure I've got everything right. So the first thing I've got is hand sanitizer, because I think it's really important that if I am tube feeding her and my hands are clean, and if I'm not in a place where I can wash my hands, then at least I have this, and this is just a little loudy one. And then we have pH strips, which are to check that her tube is still in her stomach and not in her lungs or her airway. So what I do is use a syringe. Now this is a 60ml syringe. I'm giving you a little lesson in feeding a baby with a tube, and I plunge up a bit from her tube, and usually I can tell if it's milk or anything. It's quite obvious, but I always test it just to be sure. And I drop a little bit onto, oh, here we go, one of these. It's a little sort of pH strip like that, and then there's a marker on here to tell me whether or not that is good or not for us to continue the feed. And then I will feed her through this syringe, and I basically take the purple plunger out and then just hold it and let the milk drip down the clear tube here with gravity and go down slowly, and then that feeds her. I don't have a bottle with me just because this is more of an emergency feed, if you will, like just if we get caught out and caught short, because Daisy doesn't take all of her feed from a bottle. Like it just makes no sense to take both with us, so this is what we do. And I also have a little carton of Actimel, and I always try and keep this on me just in case, because you never know, do you? So it's those as well as her weaning stuff, so she's always got something to eat and drink. And then another thing that's a little bit different is this little pack in here, and this is actually the wrappers of some of the tapes that we use, but inside I have oh, if I get them out, some pre-cut tape. So this is the tape that goes here like this. We put that on first and then lie her tube on the top, oops, and then we stick it down with this stuff which is called Tegaderm, and you actually peel this off and it's like a clear sort of sticky tape. So we have that as well, because then if that ever comes loose, then I can stick it back down and not worry about it. Then we have a dummy, then we have some tissues, we have some hand cream, we have my keys with our Waitrose thing on it, so I can always get a free coffee. I've got a travel hairbrush, it's just Tangle Teaser one. I've got a little toy, another one for Daisy. And what else have we got in here? Oh, and I have a lip balm. This is just like a posy balm from Benefit, so if I ever get dry lips I have that. And then finally in the front pocket I have my Hawkers sunglasses in their little bag. Those, you've probably seen me wearing these before. In fact, to be fair, with the way the sun is at the moment, I probably need to keep these on because it's so bright outside. I have those. And then I have some Nurofen, just because like if I ever feel unwell, have a headache, got period pains or anything, if my last period is anything to go by, then I have those just in case. I have a tampon on that note. I have another dummy, she doesn't really take this one, some polos and a pen. So that is everything. yeah, so let me know if you want any other videos like this, if there's anything that you're curious about, how I do stuff like cleaning routines, morning routines, evening routine, taking my makeup off, whatever, then let me know and I will try and do them. Now we're getting back into a routine. How many times have I said that? I'd like to do some more videos and listen to you and see what you'd like to see, so let me know. And I'll try my best to do it around her little life. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!